I'm stoked to be here and really love all that you do. And also, I love dogs. So hello there.
That's Lulu.
Hi. Oh, Lulu. That's my nickname, actually. That's what
really?
Me. Yeah, funny.
I'm about to get rid of her in a second.
For anybody who's a $10 subscriber, you get the Lulu sticker.
That's the Lulu generational change sticker.
So, got it.
Incredibly important. When I go into business meetings, I frequently ask people, like, do you like dogs? Do you have a dog? And if they say no, it's pretty much donezo there. I'm like, I can't do business with people who don't, love dogs.
Yeah, no, we're dog people. Well, so talk a little bit about your business, because obviously you're not just a social media person. You have a lot of stuff going on. So talk a little bit about like what you're working on.
Yeah, I'll give you kind of like the long story short. So it's like 2005. I'm like 18. I try cannabis for the first time, instantaneously have a positive experience, which kind of like clashes with the entire first 18 years.
You waited till you were 18 to try cannabis?
Yeah, I was a really, what you call a goody. I was like scared of weed, and I struggled with a lot of mental health stuff. So I was kind of like afraid, as many people are. Like the propaganda, it worked on me. So I get to college, try cannabis, basically instantly become a stoner because it helps me sleep. And then I start working at a medical cannabis dispensary back then. And then in 2013, I started a company called The Crystal Cult. I was making like Swarovski crystal vape pens, like cool weed shit for women. Yeah. And then Kush Queen was what I called the weed pen. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. Now we have, I think, 21 employees. We make hemp wellness products that we sell online, and we're in the compliant cannabis market in California. I somehow became a social media influencer, like somewhere in there. I think it just kind of naturally happened because I wanted to share that I was using cannabis online. And I thought it was like a really important thing to do in order to like break the stigma. Like, why would I sell it? Why would I use it and not be like posting it? So Kush Queen has sort of evolved into this thing like much bigger than me, but we basically just have like a really unique perspective on what cannabis use is. And I'm always just trying to like inhabit that spirit. We make bath bombs, lube. We sell like traditional stuff like flower joints, but really it's just kind of like a cannabis brand for everyone else. And really just kind of a labor of love for myself and my partners who own the business with me.
That's awesome. Do you do do your bath bombs, are they THC as well?
Yeah. So
I've heard really good things about soaking.
Literal THC brand in dispensaries. We started with a THC bath bomb that we sold in the medical dispensaries, and like your skin's your biggest organ. So you actually like absorb the cannabinoids and the essential oils. And it's like a really incredible feeling. And people like, some people don't get it, but if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So
yeah, no, I really want to try that. I haven't, you know what? I need to think of that the next time I'm somewhere that sells recreational there, where I might be able to find something.
Well, we also sell a THC version online. I think that's something like a lot of people don't know. And a lot of people
don't do that.
Yeah. So it's completely legal to sell hemp products with a certain amount of THC. And the way that the 2018 Farm Bill is written, which it may be rewritten next year, is when it's renewed, is that it's like 0.03% THC milligrams per gram, because you do have a certain threshold of cannabinoids in hemp. Yeah. And the best kind of hemp, if you're buying like CBD products online, is full spectrum. So that means like containing THC, because we know that the plant all works better together. Some people get drug tested, are not, they're not able to use any kind of full spectrum hemp, but we sell a THC version online. I like to tell people it's like lighter. Like the one you get in the dispensary is the heaviest dose. It's a heavy hitter, but you can still get a lot of products that we sell in the dispensaries online in sort of different doses and forms. And personally, like I've been using cannabis for a long time. Like I'm almost 35 and started at 18, and I mainly use the hemp products. Like I do have a tolerance, but you'd be really surprised how high you can get from hemp. That is
let me tell you, if you think you have a tolerance, 51, pretty much been smoking since, and I was not 18. I was significantly younger when I first smoked weed. And I'm not suggesting that. I don't think that's good. Our brains are not developed at that point. Maybe that's what some of my issues are. I don't know. No. But
yeah, they are.
They might be. And I'm just I'm a over middle-aged pothead. Like, that's just about it. Like, I'm sitting here in my Birkenstocks. Like, this is not, and so, and to me, the idea that basically the entire time that you've been smoking, there's been legalization.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Fascinating.
Like, I only had like a plug, like I only illegally bought weed for maybe 6 months. And then I realized that there were like medical shops all over California, and I went and got a rec. And then I basically was like in the medical marijuana. Now, California medical then was very gray area. You could like kind of have a license, but it was still like cash. And then in 2018, that's when it really went like fully legal. But it's really been really interesting to see sort of me going from the black sheep of the family, like she's selling drugs, to then like, oh, you're like in the legal weed industry. And it's just like, yeah, it's really, the one thing I kind of didn't expect was it to sort of happen so fast, because now we have like legal cannabis access in a lot of states, medical in a lot of states. And it just seems to be one thing everyone agrees on.
Yeah, it is. It's a very broad spectrum thing. It is nonpartisan. Most people, even people that are what we would call conservative, don't really think that this is an issue that people should be like. This is not on the forefront of people's minds. There's not a whole lot of weed warriors anymore. They're definitely dissipating.
There's a couple, big pharma mainly, because
I mean individual
profits. People. But as far as like, politically, like no, it seems. I mean, you'll hear random people every now and again, but it really has become something that is kind of united people. And in all these like crazy elections we've had like the last few years, like the one thing that keeps winning is weed. So it's good in some ways and it's bad in others, if I'm being, completely honest. Like I believe in decriminalization, and I'm a part of a legal industry, and even I'm kind of against how it's developed and what's happening seemingly all over the country, unfortunately, because it's really leaving out the majority of people, and it's not giving everyone an opportunity to be a part of the industry. And I think like that's the bummer of it, is that I was kind of like young and I had these like vision of what cannabis was going to be, and legal cannabis, and we were going to change the world with this plant. And unfortunately, it's really dominated by corporations, especially in Florida where you guys are at. It's happening pretty much all over the country, and it's a bummer. The California industry is a bloodbath right now, and somehow I snuck in, but it's I really am an anomaly, and I always warn people, because everyone wants to be in weed. And I'm always like, be really careful, because this is an industry for big business and there's mass consolidation happening. And we voted for progress, but we voted against our own interests at the same time.
Well, that's capitalism. That's
where
not a weed problem. It's a capitalism.
I know. I was on a call with a guy last week, bless his heart, and he's all, we're a community. We got to help each other. And I said, Joe, this is capitalism, baby. And he said, oh, that's so dark. And I'm like, but it is exactly what it is. And that was like a big moment for me whenever my company started to get a little bit bigger. I thought I was really going to be out there helping people heal, helping people get off of pharmaceuticals like myself, helping people change their life. And for the most part, it's a commodity now. You're just running a business. And so that's been, a bit challenging for me, because I'm in it from the heart. And that's like, when you love it, you kind of like, it hurts a lot to see some of this stuff happen, but capitalism has its grip on cannabis now. But I think in some aspects, that's what's going to bring forth that federal change. And that's really what we need, especially to get a lot of people out of prison, because there still is I think like 40,000 people in jail at a state level who are just sitting in there for cannabis crimes. And it's just unbelievable that they are in prison for what I'm doing every day legally, and I've done for like so many years.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.